going to get started in a seated position. So that might look like legs extended forward, maybe legs crisscrossed, or even tucked beneath you. So go ahead and meet me. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So go ahead and meet me in a seated posture. That feels good. We're going to take a couple just shoulder rolls just to kind of ground down into our energy, kind of bring our focus inward. Like I said, this practice is for us and us only. So if there are people around you or in the room, just know that you're safe. So go ahead and take a deep inhale here and letting it out. Just maybe connecting with your breath for the first time today. And as we start to ground down, start to visualize a light. So you could give it a color. This is just going to bring awareness to our emotions. So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Again, your hands can be wherever they feel comfortable, either facing up, facing down. But as you start to connect with your body, start to give any emotion that you feel, give it a color. We don't need to give it a name or understand it, but just go ahead and give it a color, like a physical color somewhere in your body. Maybe you notice it around you or in your head, but just notice where that color, that emotion is living in your body. Just take a moment here, focusing on the breath, acknowledging that emotion. Just again, bringing awareness, no need to judge or criticize what we're feeling, just noticing it. And as you start to deepen your breath, maybe elongate the exhale. Start to feel maybe your body is maybe just, giving into this sensation, bringing presentness and awareness to this moment. And on the next inhale and your long exhale, go ahead and envision that color moving down into the floor beneath you, maybe rooting deep down under the floor, through the dirt. Maybe there's cement under you. Just imagine that color being pushed all the way down to the center of the earth. And allowing that color to stay there as we flow through our practice. Knowing that, again, you're safe on your mat, safe in your body. And if you start to feel any discomfort, please feel free to come out of it and take a child's pose at any moment. So again, bringing awareness to the breath, we're going to place our hands anywhere that feels good on our body, but I like to feel my belly expand as I breathe. And I like to feel my belly or my breath move up through my chest as well as I inhale and exhale. We're going to take a couple breaths like that. It's called 3 parts breath. So just noticing filling up the belly first, filling up the chest, and then maybe bringing that breath to the top of the head and then exhale in one big breath. So doing that again. So inhale, belly, chest, top of the head, and letting it go. Inhaling one more through the belly, chest, and top of the head, and letting it go. Good. 2 more breaths like that. So again, not judging, maybe just noticing where your breath is at. If you're struggling breathing in through your chest or through your belly, that's okay. We're just manipulating the breath here. We're just moving the breath through our body and trying to just bring some sense of control over that breath. And one last inhale. and exhale, letting it go. Good. So again, we're gonna just place our hands wherever they feel comfortable, and we're gonna start with some movement in the neck. So just a couple neck rolls. Again, whatever feels good to you. It doesn't need to look a certain way or, be anything other than what feels good for you. I know I've had a kink in my neck, so my neck rolls have been more like leaning to the right. Just listen to your body. Try to see if you can still focus on where that breath is going in your body. Are you holding the breath here? Or can you feel it traveling still from the belly all the way up and out your nose? And we're going to go ahead and reverse the circle, going the other direction. So again, this can be as slow or as fast as you want them to be. Just noticing what feels good for you. Allowing for the cracks and pops to surface, it's just your body letting you know maybe there's some tension, or maybe we had poor sleep last night, but that's okay. That's what all this movement is for. It's going to help us to relax. Good. And we're going to go ahead and inhale, raise our hands up. And exhale, go ahead and lower one hand. You can mirror me. So any direction you want, either mirror me or place your left hand onto the mat. And we're going to stretch over to the right. Again, if your legs are crisscrossed, it could look like this. We have options. Again, if your legs are extended forward. So just try to breathe into that right side here. So again, we're kind of moving the breath through every, body part that we're moving today and bringing awareness to. So see if you can move that breath either to your backside body or your ribs. When you let it go, again, maybe just bringing a lightness or a color. Go ahead and inhale, reach the hands, come up, reach up. And as you exhale, lower the opposite hand and stretch the opposite direction. So if your thoughts are moving around, just as much as your breath is, that's okay. Maybe try to focus on a single point in the room, just coming back to where we're at right now. Our thoughts are always going to be there, but we could always choose to kind of focus on something else that's right in front of us. Maybe it's a color on the wall or a sensation in our body. So again, just breathing into that left side here or your right side, whichever side you're on. And trying to focus on just one point today. Good. Go ahead and inhale, reach both hands, come up. And good. If your legs are crossed right now, we're going to go ahead and reach forward, or if your legs are extended, feel free to take a forward fold. And just noticing which foot is in front of the other. So if it's your right foot, then we're going to switch sides in just a moment. So maybe breathing in as you elongate through the spine, and as you exhale, you release. Maybe release the tension in your jaw if there is any tension in the backs of the eyes. So again, we're here not to bring judgment, but just bring awareness to our body and where it's at in this moment. And just notice that it shifts too from day to day, from hour to hour, even as our responsibilities change, we change. So yoga just allows us to kind of come back to the present moment. Good. So go ahead and as you exhale, walk your hands back up, and we're going to switch sides. Good. We're going to inhale, bring our hands, come up. We're going to exhale, lower that hand onto the mat, and we're going to reach. So maybe now that we're moving the body a little bit more and noticing the breath, Can we maybe release a little bit more tension this time and bring more awareness? Good. Inhale, hands come up. And exhale, lower down, switch sides. So maybe this time we're focusing on something different, something new, bringing a new perspective to this moment. Inhaling in and letting it out. Good. Inhale, reach the hands, come up. And exhale, you're going to fold forward. So since we switch sides, this is going to target your hip. And depending what leg is extended forward, it's going to bring attention, to that area. So definitely my left side feels a little different than my right. So I'm not going to fold as forward as much. I can, just kind of live right here. And maybe just breathe into that discomfort. If you feel any pinching or pulling, again, you're always welcome to come out of it. But if you can, just for a moment, maybe breathe into that discomfort. And you don't have to push it, but just notice it. And again, if it's maybe too much strain on our mind and body, then we can always just ease up a little bit. Good. Taking one last breath in and letting it out. Good. We're going to walk our hands forward and we're going to meet in tabletop position. So our hands are going to be stacked underneath our shoulders and knees underneath our hips. We can take a couple rocks side to side since, we're just now starting to kind of activate the entire body. And we can look back at our heels. Again, just noticing any cracks, pops, that's just letting our body wake up. Again, wake up to that present moment, to right now. Good. Maybe again, what are you noticing around you? Good. And as we come to stillness and come back to center, we're going to do a balancing pose. So we're going to reach our left foot back or our right foot and the opposite hand forward. So this is what it looks like. So really just, again, noticing here where our breath is going. Are we holding because we're trying to hold this posture? Or can we really breathe into the fact that our body maybe knows what it's doing, bringing some trust into our body that okay, we've done this before. We've been here before. Maybe we're a little shaky today. That's okay. Just allowing again for the discomfort. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good. Again, take a couple looks back at your heels. Swivel from side to side just to kind of recenter, rebalance your body. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So pushing the mat away, your knees are hip width this distance apart, and we're going to raise our opposite leg, opposite hand. So imagine here that someone is tugging you in opposite directions. And again, maybe we're allowing for the shaking, allowing for the discomfort, but can you breathe through this pose? Instead of holding the breath and holding on, maybe we're clenching our jaw, just breathe into this moment and know that we're only going to be here for 3, 2, and 1. Great, lowering down. Good, and we're going to go ahead and rock ourselves back into child's pose. So that's just sitting back onto the heels and allowing your forehead to rest onto the mat. Again, just taking another deep breath in and letting it out. Maybe thanking the body for being here today and just doing its best. One more breath, in and out. Good, and as you inhale, you can walk your hands back into a seated pose. So rocking yourself forward and maybe tucking the toes. We're going to take our first downward facing dog, so shifting the hips back and up. We're going to go ahead and pedal out the feet. paddle it out, maybe shake your head no, nod your head yes. Again, just noticing where the body is at. Maybe bringing the gaze between your knees if you can. Pushing the mat away evenly between your hands and your feet. Good, one more breath in. And letting it out. Good, we're gonna go ahead and look forward and we can either stop, step or hop to the front of the mat. I'm just gonna walk forward and we're gonna breathe in, inhale, halfway lift and exhale, release. So here, let the head hang heavy. We're actually gonna hold on to your elbows and just let yourself dangle here. Bend your knees as much as you need to. I'll turn again just so you guys can see what it looks like. Just allowing the head to release here. Maybe again, nodding the head no, shaking the head yes. Just letting go of that upper body tension as we ground down into the feet. Again, feeling safe and secure. Good, and as you exhale, one last time, we're gonna inhale and roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. Slowly activating the vagus nerve and coming to standing. So here in standing, I'm trying to see, this is my first time recording. I usually have a class. So coming to standing, we're gonna inhale, reach, the hands come up. And exhale, forward fold. So again, bending the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. So elongating through the spine, maybe gazing forward, and exhale, forward fold. Letting it go. If you are at the back of your mat, you can walk it forward like me, or you could step it back into a plank pose. So just meeting me in plank. We're gonna hold here, just kind of finding that groundedness here, just connecting your hands and your feet to the mat, pushing the floor away. We're gonna inhale, shift our weight forward, and as you exhale, we're gonna lower it down slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, lower all the way down. Maybe bring your cheek over to the mat and just allow yourself here to take a moment to rest. Good, and as you inhale, look forward and switch sides. Just resting your cheek onto the mat, allowing for a moment of rest here as we start to wake up the body. Good, inhale, gaze forward, and you can bring your hands underneath your shoulders and looking up and maybe pointing your nose up to the ceiling. We're gonna curl up into cobra. So maybe your gaze is up. If you want to challenge yourself, you can lift your hands up off the floor. So really we're using our sight, really where we're gazing, to really bring a back bend, like just a small back bend into our practice. Good, and letting it go. And on the next breath in, we're gonna step back. You could either take a child's pose here or lift up into downward facing dog. Good, so downward facing dog is a rest pose. It's just a position, a posture that we could take in between kind of the cleansing poses that we're doing. So we're really like flossing here is what my yoga teacher would call it. We're really flossing, like just getting all that gunk out. Good, so going ahead and stepping forward or walking your hands back. We're gonna inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the hands, come up, look up, and exhale, hands to heart. Great, we're gonna do that 2 more times. So we're gonna inhale, reach our hands, come up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, elongate through the spine, exhale, forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to, step or hop back into plank. And as you exhale, we're gonna lower down either halfway or all the way onto the mat. And we're gonna press ourselves up, upward facing dog, or you could take that mini back bend and take a cobra. Good. On your next exhale, we're going to push ourselves back, downward facing dog. Great job. We're definitely picking up the pace here. Maybe bring a smile to your face. Congratulate yourself for being here today. We're bringing a lot of movement to the body and just awareness. Good. We're going to inhale again, gaze forward and hop or step forward, or go ahead and just take little baby steps. Back, inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, release. Again, bending the knees as much as you need to here. And this time we're going to inhale and again roll through the spine slowly, slowly, slowly as you can. All the way up to standing mountain pose. Good. And this is our last one. We're going to inhale, reach our hands, come up, look up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Good. As you inhale, you're going to step or hop the feet back, plank pose. And maybe challenge yourself here. If you lower it all the way down, maybe lower halfway, keeping the elbows tucked in and near your body. Good. Go ahead and inhale, shift your gaze up, look up. And exhale, release, downward facing dog. So again, pushing the mat away with your hands and your feet. Maybe allowing this bend in the knees as much as you need to. Whatever's comfortable for you here. So you should feel grounded through your hands and feet. So again, if that requires bending through the knees to push the floor away, then go ahead and do that. Good, and we're going to go ahead and lower down onto the knees and take a child's pose. So just take a moment of rest here once more. So again, allowing your body to kind of release after a lot of movement. And just feeling what that feels like. Just allow the breath to move throughout the body without judgment. Maybe now you're noticing your breath fill up the belly. One last breath here, letting it out. And we're going to again roll through the spine, coming up to the hands and knees. And maybe shifting our weight back into downward facing dog. Good. Go ahead and gaze forward. We're going to bring our right foot forward or left foot, any foot forward. And plant your back foot down parallel to the end of the mat. So your front foot is facing forward and your back foot should be facing the back or parallel to the back wall. Good. We're going to inhale, reach our hands up, warrior one. So bending into that front knee. Again, this is what it looks like. Just like a low lunge, simple low lunge. No need to worry about your alignment so much. Just be here. Warrior one. And as you exhale, warrior two, you're going to open the hands up, facing forward. Maybe again, just bringing awareness to where your breath is going. Are you allowing it to fill up the chest and the upper body as we feel strong and rooted down through our lower body? Again, maybe bringing your attention to one point in the room. Good, and as you inhale, we're going to drop that back hand behind us, peaceful warrior. So the top hand is just going to come right above us. Maybe you could allow it to relax. You can point it straight up. Maybe gaze at your fingers. Again, just thanking yourself for being here today. Good, and then we're going to windmill our hands, come down and step the foot back into plank, lower down. However you get there, you can lower down your knees, chest and chin, or lower down through your chaturanga or plank. And inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to child's pose. Good, so we're really bringing a lot of awakening to our body, maybe to some stagnation that we've been feeling. I know with like the fires going on here in Reno, it's been really hard to kind of get outside or feel like we can, get much done. So maybe just allow your lungs to breathe in that fresh air. As our body moves, we're producing oxygen in the blood. And we're just allowing for it to circulate internally, which is beautiful. Good, go ahead and shift up onto your hands and knees once more. We're gonna tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Maybe gaze between the knees, pushing the mat away, bending the knees as much as you need to. We're gonna switch sides. So bringing your left foot forward or your opposite foot forward. And again, planting your back foot down. So the back foot is again parallel to the wall. Your front foot is facing forward. Inhale, bring the hands up, warrior one. Excellent. And as you exhale, warrior two, maybe bending into that front knee. Again, just noticing where your body is at. Maybe today is a day where you're really challenging yourself and you want to focus on alignment. Or maybe today is just a day where, being here is enough. And that's okay. So everyone's going to be in their own place. And as we join each other in this practice, just know that collectively we're all here kind of doing the same thing. No need to judge. Good, we're gonna go ahead and flip that palm and bring that arm behind you, peaceful warrior. Again, breathing here, maybe letting go of any judgment or attacks that we feel internally in our mind. Good, and go ahead and windmill the hands, come down, step the foot flex, either again into plank pose or lower down, knees, chest, chin, and inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. And as you exhale, we're going to push ourselves back into child's pose. Taking a few breaths here, just a couple of moments to recenter yourself. Awesome, we're gonna rock ourselves forward. We're gonna do that one more time. So going ahead and tucking the toes and pressing yourself back into downward facing dog. And we're gonna step the right foot forward, left foot stays back, and we pivot the back foot as we inhale, warrior one. Good, exhale into warrior two. Again, maybe bending into that front knee. Flipping the palm, peaceful warrior. So again, we're breathing into this side body. So really each posture is like just building on one that maybe you have already learned. Good, and as you exhale, we're gonna windmill the hands, come down, step back and lower down, either through plank, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and exhale, child's pose. Good, so again, maybe here allowing the tongue to rest on the bottom of your mouth. Maybe your mouth even hangs slightly open in order to do that. We're really tuning into every area of our body today. So again, just maybe child's pose feels good to kind of just ground down and recenter yourself. Good, and we're gonna go ahead on our next inhale, we're gonna shift our weight tabletop and tuck the toes, downward facing dog. You guys know the drill. Good, so maybe this time we're spreading our toes and really grounding down into the mat. We're gonna shift our weight And pick up the left foot, step it forward. Inhale, warrior one, bending through the front knee. And exhale, warrior two. Good, we're gonna flip that front palm. Inhale. And exhale, again, breathing into the side body of your ribs. And just noticing where the breath is going, where your mind is going, and where your attention is going. So what are we focused on? Can you bring it back to this room, to this moment? Good, and inhale, the hands come down. And step back, lower down the plank, and inhale, upward facing dog. And as you exhale, we're gonna step our weight or shift our weight back onto our heels, child's pose. Good, so again, just breathing here, maybe this time, as we start to transition into a different posture, you can bring your hands directly behind you and just allow for your full breath to kind of meet your body. Inhaling and letting it all out. Again, maybe just elongating that exhale. Good, and on your next breath, we're going to inhale, roll ourselves up. And we're going to meet in standing. So you can go ahead and just, if you want to take a downward facing dog or a halfway lift, but however you get there, just go ahead and come up and meet me at the top of your mat. We're going to move into some balancing poses. So we're going to do eagle is a little bit, we're going to try this out. I don't know if you guys have done this before. Like I said, I can't get feedback. But we're gonna start by shifting our weight. So before we get started, since we've been on the ground and moving a lot, just see if you could bring your breath back to your center, back to your body, your belly. And again, maybe envisioning either a light or roots growing beneath your feet all the way down to the center of the earth. So you should feel really stable here in this posture. Maybe you could feel your thighs are contracted, but this is a really active pose. So if you feel like you aren't engaged, maybe just bringing your knees up to your thighs and contracting the thigh, maybe rolling your shoulders back and down a few times. Just bringing that activation, that awareness, and that lightness to our being. Again, just imagining those roots going deeper and deeper into the earth. Good, and as we stay here, this is mountain, by the way, one of my favorite poses. We're going to go ahead and shift our weight either onto our right or our left side. It might be easier to just kind of follow me in this moment and shift your weight onto your left, because we are going to include our hands as well. So as we shift our weight onto our left, you should feel really grounded here. So go ahead and try to just pick up your foot and just see if you could still, keep your balance. If not, that's okay. You can always come back to center. Maybe plant your roots down again and try it again. But again, your leg that's connected to the ground is contracted here. Good, so as our other leg is kind of light, we're gonna wrap it around us, and this is eagle. So we're gonna either wrap it one time, or if you can, bring that foot behind you and actually hook the foot behind you. I'm just gonna come here today. Good, we're gonna inhale the hands up. And then we're going to bring our right arm underneath our left and swing it under. Good. So this is eagle. So this is one of my favorite poses for recentering the nervous system, because it's actually rewiring the brain and reconnecting our right and left hemispheres. So, maybe as I'm talking, you're focusing on a single point in the room or on the mat in front of you. And maybe try to contract yourself here, make yourself tight into a little ball. Good, and we're gonna go ahead and release. Bring your hands up. Good, and meet me in mountain pose. So again, we talked about grounding down and just kind of recentering. So we just kind of exploded our energy and just kind of bring it back to stillness. And just notice if you are feeling jittery, or, again, you could give it a name, but try not to judge. So maybe give it a name, thank it, and then you can, again, push that into the earth as we move into the next side. So good. So just recentering, grounding yourself, contracting through the thighs. We're going to shift our weight onto our right side and pick up the left foot. Go ahead and inhale. We're going to wrap the foot around, either all the way around, or just like, onto the side. I almost wish I wasn't wearing black today so you guys could see. I don't know if you guys could see well. But we're just going to wrap here. We're going to inhale, reach the hands, come up. And this time our left arm is going to go underneath our right. I did it kind of fast the first time, but I'm sure you guys caught on. And you guys can compress here. So again, just focusing on one spot in front of you. This is the concentration part of yoga. So again, just noticing where our mind is going, and can we bring it back? It's okay to drift and sway, just like our body moves and sways as we try to balance, but it's okay to come back to a specific, concentration. So something either right in front of you or a thought. It's okay to drift off, but always know we can come back. Good. And we're going to go ahead and release and bring it down into mountain pose. So again, try to find stillness right away. So a lot of the time when we kind of feel agitated, we want to move about, try to just stay with the discomfort, stay with that moment. But again, you have options here. So if that is too uncomfortable for you, definitely feel free to shake it out. But if you do feel that you can allow for space today for that discomfort, and just notice that maybe through the breath, through this movement, through this practice, that you are a little bit more tolerant of distress. And that's why we're here. We're really building on our resilience. Good, excellent job. So we're going to move into tree pose. So again, a lot of balancing poses today. We're going to imagine grounding down to the bottoms of our feet, contracting the thighs upward. Maybe again, taking a couple shoulder rolls just to focus. Notice where our posture is at today. And we're going to shift our weight onto the left side again. Bringing our right foot up. You can go ahead and hug the knee in, maybe do a couple rolls of the ankle. Roll it the other direction. Good, and lower the foot down. Switch sides, so shifting the weight to the right side and bringing that left foot up. Again, hugging the knee, maybe rolling out the ankle. Again, just noticing where your attention is going. Rolling the other direction, remembering to breathe here. Again, contracting the thigh, feeling grounded and rooted through our bottom foot. Good, and just gently lowering back down. Amazing. So we're going to do one more, which is tree pose. We're going to shift our weight onto the left. And you could bring your foot either in contact with your ankle, your calf, or your inner thigh. The most important thing here is to not put pressure on to the kneecap. That can really cause a lot of distress. So wherever you're at today, I think I'm going to be down here. Sometimes it's just asking yourself, what does feel good? And knowing that it's okay to ask for what we need in that moment. So again, maybe just breathing here, imagining rooting down into that bottom foot, bringing awareness and concentration or focus to a single point in the room, maybe a single object. Focusing on the breath, you can place your hands either over your heart or your belly to feel safe, or if you feel open to receiving, you can go ahead and either cactus your arms up or bring the arms straight up. So wherever you're at today, just again, bringing that awareness. Good, and lowering the foot down. Good, so taking a deep breath in, maybe taking a couple, just kind of steps on your tippy toes, just because I know that we're activating the thighs and the calves a lot right here, so just allowing for them to kind of come back. Come back and ground them. Good. So we're going to shift the weight onto the right side. And again, bring that opposite leg or your left leg onto to meet your ankle or your calf, wherever you feel most comfortable. And again, just tuning in. What does your body feel like doing right now? Does it want to challenge itself and bring the arms up? Do you want to stay centered and kind of bring your energy inward? You know, are you going to need that energy after class to, you know, to use for a project or a homework assignment? It's okay to kind of be a little selfish here and say, no, I want to use that. But again, if you feel like taking up space, creating that space with your body, and again, really allowing your arms to grow, your branches to grow. Good, and lowering down. Good, so we're gonna just sway back and forth here. That was like really, for me, it's really intense because we are engaging a lot of our muscles and our focus and our attention. So just kind of taking a couple, these are, you know, kind of to side, letting your arms kind of flop around is kind of nice. Maybe letting your knees relax a little bit, since again, that was really intense to just kind of focus for a moment, especially in the digital world. So just allow here for a couple body slaps. Good, and just coming back to center, taking whatever movements you need here. So maybe a couple twists, whatever it is, shaking it out, bending into the knees, just to kind of, you know, bring that blood flow back into the body. Good, and we're gonna inhale, reach the hands up. Look up, and exhale, forward fold. Good. Here in this forward fold, we're gonna again hold on to our elbows, just like we did earlier, and just sway from side to side, allowing the head to be heavy. So after just kind of, you know, all that openness and receiving, maybe we want to just kind of come back to ourselves and our attention and ground down through our feet and relax through the back of the neck, maybe the jaw. Again, just noticing where we're at, because we're not able to serve if our energy is, you know, all over the place, or if we're feeling like we're giving too much. It's okay to kind of come back to yourself, and even for a couple moments a day, so that we can continue on our day and continue serving our communities. Good, one last inhale and exhale, letting it out. Good, we're gonna inhale, halfway lift, just to elongate through the spine once more. And exhale, bend into your knees. You're gonna meet me in a seated posture. Great, we're almost there, you guys. You've done an amazing job, I'm sure. So I'm going to show you this way once more. This kind of lighting. I'll get better at this, I promise. But we're going to go ahead and inhale, bring the chest forward. Maybe you gaze up. And as you exhale, we're going to lower down halfway. And maybe you've done this one before. It's called boat pose. You can hold it here and maybe bring just the tips of your toes to touch the floor very lightly. As we hold here, we're engaging again, probably every muscle in our body, even through the arms and the fingertips. We're elongating out. Good. And if you want to challenge yourself, you could bring one leg up at a time. Right, left, right. Just kind of play around here and see again. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe bring both legs up and allow for the shaking. And go ahead and release. We're going to bring our feet together, butterfly pose, and just allow your head to relax as we start to finish up our practice here. Again, just refocusing on the breath, always coming back to that, because our breath can tell us a lot about where our mind is. If we're holding it and we feel tense, if we're maybe breathing really fast and we notice that we're nervous or anxious. So our breath can tell us a lot about where we're at in this moment. So again, maybe try to deepen that exhale. When we take in too much oxygen, that's actually when we feel anxious. So elongating through that exhale brings like a calmness to our body, because if we're hyperventilating or breathing really rapidly or quickly, we're bringing in a lot of oxygen to our body. which causes it to panic. So exhaling deeply and for a longer period of time than your inhale actually will stimulate the body to calm down. So that's a good little trick that I've learned. Good. So we're going to inhale again, rolling the shoulders back and down. And as we exhale, we're going to release, just kind of lower down halfway, about a 45-degree angle. And you could bring out the knees this time if you want to, or if again, continue the tapping. Or you could even elongate through the legs and hold here. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down butterfly. So feet together, allow the head to hang heavy. Breathing here. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So bringing the knees together. Inhale, elongate through the spine, maybe look up. And as you exhale, lower down halfway to about a 45-degree angle. And just meet me where you're at today. Again, maybe it's legs extended out in front of you, knees bent, or continuing the toe taps. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release, butterfly pose. So while you're in butterfly, maybe massage through the feet. I always love to give my feet some love while I'm here because I'm staring right at them and I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, feet. So maybe just bringing that awareness to your feet, thanking them for all they've done today, holding your balance in these postures, getting you from point A to point B. So just bringing gratitude. Thank you, feet. Good, and we're going to bring our legs to close. We're going to lower down onto the mat. And you could lower down slowly. So if you're feeling, again, really like you're up for a challenge, you could lower down slowly, engaging the core. Or if you want to relax, just go ahead and get there gently. And meet me on the mat. We're going to go ahead and pick up the right knee and bring it to our chest. Maybe rocking side to side. Again, you can bring, ankle circles. So bring, take some ankle circles here, roll it the other direction. Good, and we're gonna go ahead and place our opposite hand out to a T beside us, and we're gonna shift our knee over to that side of the body. And if you wanna bring your opposite arm out to a T the other direction, then you can go ahead and do that. But if you need to hold on to the leg or hold on to the opposite leg with the opposite hand, you can do that. Again, being gentle here, no need to like force anything or, do anything that doesn't feel great. We can ease into this. Good, taking one last inhale here, letting it out. And meeting me back in center, elongate through that foot, maybe shaking it out and bringing the opposite foot up to your chest, hugging it in. Maybe again, taking a few rocks here just to wake up the hips. Because if we're really tight too, this might cause some pinching in our low back if we don't want that. So again, if you need to come out of it at any moment, please do so. So maybe taking a couple ankle rolls, knee rolls, going the opposite direction. And again, placing our opposite hand out to a T, and we're going to use our right hand to bring our right knee down to the mat. And again, your hand could just help you to twist. And just noticing where our gaze is going, where our attention is going. And bringing like a loving awareness to our body. If we feel any tension, maybe releasing. Where are we holding on to that we don't need to hold on to? Like, is your forehead scrunching up or is your jaw clenching? So where can you let go of right now that doesn't need to be holding on? Good, and we're going to go ahead and shift our weight back to center and release that leg. Come down to the mat and shake it out one more time. Good, we're going to reach our hands up And stretch through our toes, taking one last stretch here. And we're actually going to hug the knees in one more time, thanking ourselves today for our practice, maybe rocking side to side or bringing your forehead to your knees. A lot of gratitude today for just showing up. It takes a lot just to show up. Good. And as you take your final pose, well, almost final, because we'll awaken the body once we relax the body a little bit, but go ahead and allow yourself to release any tension here in the shoulders, maybe allowing your feet to take up as much room as they need to. Maybe your hands need to take up a lot of space today and they're, out wide. But wherever you are, just meet your body there. Meet your body in that moment and listen to it. Whatever movements or kinks, listen to it and just go inward and listen to what it is that your body is needing and what your body is telling you that it needs. And know that it's okay to give it what it needs. So as you breathe here, I want you to envision a white light entering through the crown of your head, taking up space behind your eyes, filling up your head all the way. Maybe you're becoming one with the mat in this moment. As this light fills you up from ear to ear, one corner of the jaw to the other corner of the jaw, this light is glowing. Maybe filling in all the little crevices of our body, inside our head and our mind. And as this light shines through our head, we release any tension, any thoughts, racing thoughts or critical thoughts that we have, and allow that light to shine so brightly that you can't hear it, that it almost mutes those thoughts. And allow that light to move down through your chest, back of the ribs, down through your belly button, and into your hip sockets. Allow that glowing light to fill your arms and shoulders, all the way down through your elbows, hands, and wrists. Maybe you can feel the warmth of the light on your fingertips. And slowly move that light, or notice that light moving down through the backs of the legs, behind the knees, filling up the calves and the ankles. And again, maybe bringing a warmth or a glow through the bottoms of your feet as you relax here in Shavasana. And allow that light, that golden or white light, to illuminate throughout your whole body. And imagine that light now taking up all and lighting up all the room, like around you, surrounding you. The entire room surrounded by this white light. Maybe you start to feel this light connect to those around you as their light shines. Your light does not have to be dimmed. And imagine this light beaming so brightly through the windows of the building and surrounding the building or home that you're in, or bedroom. And allow this white light to just beam throughout your neighborhood, through the streets, street lights, corners, maybe the stores, your schools, office buildings. Just imagine this white light surrounding Reno, whatever city that you're in this moment. And now allow that light to wrap your entire state or country that you're in. Feel that illumination carrying you as you envision the whole world now being lit up by this golden white light. As it glistens effortlessly throughout the whole world, and the entire universe can feel this healing white light. Allow your breath to deepen as you start to come back to your body. Maybe you start to wiggle through your toes and through your fingers as you start to bring some awareness back to our physical body. Maybe rolling out through the ankles and the wrist, bending into the knees if you have to. And we can all take a collective stretch together, reaching our hands up above our heads and reaching our toes down. Again, as if we're being pulled in opposite direction, just noticing that the spine is thanking you for this practice today. Good, and taking whatever movements here to kind of start to wake up the body. We're gonna shift our weight onto one side, either your right or your left side, hugging your head into your arms. Maybe your eyes start to blink open, or they can remain closed. And you can use that opposite hand to prop yourself up and meet me again in a seated pose. So where we began, basically. So welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and roll through our shoulders. I'm feeling really like big now, I guess you can say. Like I was definitely like way more reserved when I started this video, maybe because I was nervous or shy about being on camera. But now I feel like okay to really take up space. So again, take whatever, like if you need to take body circles, like this feels really good on the spine, or any neck circles, doing back and forth. Being as gentle as you need to. Maybe you're not as energized as I am, so maybe you're easing into it and just like maybe breathing into one side of the neck and then rolling to the other side. So if your breath is still really, maybe slowed down, then use that to, again, guide your body, to guide your movements. So breathing here, we're gonna inhale, reach our hands up. And exhale, we're gonna twist over to the right or the left side. Inhale as you elongate through the spine, and exhale, twist, looking back behind you. Maybe bringing a smile to your face as we start to close out the practice. Inhale, reach the hands, come up. And exhale, release to the opposite side. Again, not forcing anything, like we're really waking up the body here again. So move as slowly as you need to, or, we can really jump back into our activities and our responsibilities, but just taking a moment here. Good. We're going to inhale, reach our hands up. And exhale, bring our hands to heart. So thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today, and just bring that awareness back to ourselves and our body. And I really hope that empowers you to, take that step forward that maybe you've been needing to take and hesitating, and just trust yourself. So thank you so much. And I hope to see you next time.